Guy here. Hope you're having a great weekend. When I got into graduate school, as I have talked about before, I was driven by a desire to learn about trauma, to become the best trauma therapist I could become. And because when I was younger, and this wasn't conscious to me when I got into graduate school, I didn't really have a lot of self-confidence in my intellectual ability. I didn't think I was completely stupid, but I just didn't think I was smart enough. And so that was the message I had taken. And that was kind of unconscious, subconscious for me, a driver for me, such that when I got into graduate school, I was consumed with the idea that what would make me the best trauma therapist I could become was contingent upon how much information I could cram in my head. And of course, we all know that's not the whole story, right? That's one component of it. And I neglected the importance of the vital importance of just who I was. That driving force, right, got so, it just got in the way so much, such that when I started seeing clients, it was really about me trying to utilize these interventions and techniques, and looking at books before I would see a client, and okay, this is page 222. This intervention is going to work for so and so, and of course, it doesn't work that way. And I was in my own way. I didn't value who I was, the texture of who I was, my mistakes, my faults, my wins, my strengths. I didn't understand that the totality of who I was as a person, as we all are, right? As people, our human beingness, as I've talked about, as I want to give credit to Manuela Mishka Reeds for that. She was on my podcast. I interviewed her, and she used that term. That's what people connect to. We don't connect to interventions and techniques. And I don't care if you're a therapist and you know this. Who are you as a person? That is going to, that's the foundation of healing. That's the foundation of healing. And as one of my guests said on my podcast, she said, the client who walks into your office, they started their journey of healing long before they came to you, right? And I think in the therapeutic relationship, it is just by its very nature kind of imbalance. You have the therapist up here with all the knowledge, the client, right, is coming to the therapist to get better. This idea of why people get into this field, I think I'll save for a different video, but learning, I think, to get out of our own way and trust that we as people, we as human beings are the magic, right? It takes so long, I think, to figure that out. For me, it did. For me, it took a freaking long time. Have an awesome weekend.